Hi guys, so Donald Trump's game of chicken with China has resulted in him attempting to remove himself from the wreckage along the highway. According to reports, the whole plan was for China not to retaliate when the US imposed tariffs on their exports, and for the Chinese president to get on the phone to Trump in order to make the latter look like he was in control. China didn't play ball, and now the US is facing not just a recession, but potentially an economic depression. And it looks like those around the president have finally forced him into a U-turn. Here Trump was asked about lowering the tariffs on China, and he basically said yes. Sorry for the quality of the audio at the beginning.
Earlier today, Treasury Secretary Gusson suggested that with the tariff rates as high as they are now, it's effectively an embargo of trade between the United States and China. Do you see it that way?
That's true. 145% is very high, and it won't be that high. It's not going to be that high. It got up to that. We were talking about fentanyl, where various elements built it up to 145. No, it won't be anywhere near that high.
What level do you think it'll come down to if you have it?
It'll come down substantially, but it won't be zero. It used to be zero. We were just destroyed. China was taking us for a ride, and just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're going to be very good to China, have a great relationship with President Xi, but they would make billions and billions and billions of dollars a year, and they would build their military out of the United States and what they made, so that won't happen. But they're going to do very well, and I think they're going to be happy, and I think we're going to live together very happily and ideally work together. So I think it's going to work out very well. But no, it's at 145%. It will not be anywhere near that number.
How the worm has turned. Okay, so remember, Donald Trump and his administration had attempted to force China to not retaliate and then get on the phone to Donald Trump and beg for him to lower the tariffs. This was the whole approach, and this seems to be the approach to other countries as well. But for the other countries, it seems what Trump was hoping to achieve was that he would strong-arm them into importing more goods from the US and separating themselves, diverging away from China. How well has that worked out? Well, we've already seen reports of South Korea, Japan, and other nations in Asia reaching out to China. Australia, it seems, is signing a deal with China to export beef to that country and replace the United States. So I think there are perhaps some voices of reason within the Trump administration who are saying to Donald, pump the brakes a bit, slow down, because this is actually backfiring. You hear it from Trump. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to have a good relationship with China. Now, the whole problem here is that even if Trump was to reduce tariffs to zero tomorrow, the damage has already been done. See, countries like Canada and Mexico have realized the hard way that you can't deal with Donald Trump, that you need to diverge away from the United States. So, once again, if Donald Trump imposed a zero tariff now, the impact would be very little because the damage has been done. Countries and businesses have realized you can't do business with the US. You need to diverge. You need to have a backup plan. And many countries are looking towards China and they're looking towards Europe. It seems even the dollar is at risk now of losing its status as reserve currency. Investors are looking at maybe the euro instead. The US economy is built on the whole idea of the US dollar being the reserve currency. And now if that's going away, this is going to have serious consequences for the US economy. And these consequences will discourage people from investing in the United States. So once again, even if Donald Trump imposed a zero tariff, reduced the tariffs to nothing, he's not going to be able to turn this thing around. And of course, Donald Trump is completely unreliable as a business partner, as a partner on the world stage. So you can't be guaranteed that even if he does reduce the tariffs to zero, that he will stick with that, because he could change his mind the very next day. And he's already tearing up international agreements. The very first day in office, what did he do? He rolled back America's cooperation with the Paris Climate Accord. So this is somebody you cannot work with. He's unreliable, he's not trustworthy, And there's no guarantee that even if he does do a deal with you, that he will respect it. There are no winners in a trade war, but it seems China is definitely coming out on the winning side here.